Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the Golden State Warriors. I'm a big NBA fan. I like watching the team, seeing how things change year to year. It's pretty fun to watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a team that a lot of people think are done, but I think that they're not done. I think it's unfortunate that Klay Thompson got injured, but based on what I saw last night, I think that this is a team that could potentially, in years to come, still be very competitive for the title. Not saying they're going to win an NBA championship again, but they're a team to keep an eye on as one of the key contenders. So if you're interested in content like this, please let me know in the comment section or like the video, and let me know what you think. So for Golden State, I felt before the offseason started, I thought that Golden State would have been able to have a chance to come back, surprise everybody, and win the NBA title this season. I know that was prior to Klay Thompson getting injured. That was prior to the Lakers making a lot of good offseason moves. But still, I think that a lot of people undervalue Steph Curry and the contributions that he made to the Warriors dynasty. A lot of people felt that KD was really the one that drove it. But I think a lot of that was really driven by Steph Curry. And I think that still could be proven in years to come, depending on the health of their players, based on some of the observations I saw last night. So Klay Thompson is really valuable to this team, first of all. And I think that the difference of what I've seen this from Golden State is that they already have a very good scorer in Steph Curry, but when the rest of their team is not shooting the ball well, that really makes them a very poor offensive team because the defense can just swarm Steph Curry. They leave the other guys open. If they're not making shots, the Warriors do not really have a lot of opportunities for other guys to step up. They'll just continue to lock down Steph Curry and double and triple teams, which is what the Clippers were doing. And this is kind of the same thing that the Nets were doing in the other Warriors game that I watched earlier this season on opening night. But the difference in this game is that some of the other guys stepped up and they actually made threes down the stretch. They didn't show that in the first quarter, but later on in the game, the other guys like Brad Wanamaker, Michael Mulder, Andrew Wiggins, towards the end, he didn't start out very well. But those guys really stepped up and they really spaced out the floor, and that allowed Steph Curry to do his thing as well. But if the Warriors have had Klay Thompson on this team, you don't need to worry about Klay Thompson spacing the floor because many argue, is an even better three-point shooter than Steph Curry. He provides that equal spacing, opens up the floor for other guys, and just not having him, the Warriors this season have to rely on the other guys to step up, and they're not doing that consistently, which is why they're floating around 500 right now. I believe they're 5-4. So I don't see Golden State really being an elite team this year. I think they're going to make the playoffs probably around the 6-7 range is what I would project. But it's just really, to me, like if Klay Thompson had been on this team, I think my prediction might have been right, that this team really could surprise a lot of people and could be a finals and championship contender. I've really been impressed with the production of James Wiseman so far. I think he's going to be a very good big man for them. I think he's already at the level of Kevon Looney. He's showing a lot of range. I think the thing with Wiseman, he just needs to really just get more used to the game and have a more consistent play night to night. He will play well some games, but then it seems other times he's out of position on defense and really doesn't really contribute as much as he could. So I think that will improve with time, but I've liked what I've seen so far with him. And Draymond Green, a lot of people are kind of down on him after the way Golden State played last year when he was really the only one left on the team. But Draymond Green, he's not necessarily a stat producer, but he really provides a lot for them in terms of defense. His help defense, it doesn't necessarily show up on stats. And then also just the overall leadership and the overall ability to get under the other team's skin and really throw off their guys. He's one of the biggest trash talkers in the league. There's no stat to define that necessarily, but it really makes a big difference for them. And even this season you could see that, because since he's been back, that's when Golden State has kind of gone back to their winning ways this season. So what could this mean for Golden State going forward? So Golden State is going to have their core locked up for quite a while. Steph, I don't see Steph changing to another team, even if Golden State isn't necessarily going back to a finals. I don't really see him moving back to a team like Charlotte or anything like that. I think they're going to keep that core together. But when Klay Thompson comes back, I think this team really could surprise a lot of people in terms of their ability to contend with the best teams in the league and maybe even make a run at a championship. Klay provides so much on offense and on defense. And when you can move those other secondary guys like Wiggins, Oubre, Mulder, whoever else is going to be on this team in the long run, they just have to fulfill a 3-and-D role. And you already have such good offensive players in Steph and Klay that if the other guys step up on defense and they step up to make shots when they need it, this team is going to be competitive. You don't necessarily need a Bradley Beal or some other guy that people have talked about they should trade for. I think they have a pretty good core right now, and I think that they just have to find the consistency with that, and they need to get all their guys back together, and they could be very competitive. Obviously, a lot of this is going to depend on how Wiseman develops, how well Wiggins fits into the system moving forward, because honestly, I don't think a lot of teams are really going to be in the market to trade for Andrew Wiggins. But if those two things can happen, I think that Golden State is going to be right back in this thing, and they could be threatening the Lakers, whatever else teams are in the West, like the Nuggets, for years to come. So that's my take. Let me know what you think of this video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you.